So it's so bad out there in the economy that the Trump regime is actually admitting that their policies are causing inflation. The Washington Post has an article out where the regime is admitting that their immigration crackdown is resulting in higher food prices. Now, you didn't have to be a rocket scientist to see this coming. I mean, when you round up and deport the people who are planting and picking the food, the price of food is going to skyrocket, which is, of course, exactly what's been happening. And, you know, these friggin' Magas are being hurt. I know they voted for him to screw the libs, right? To screw all the people they hated. They never thought that they would be harmed by his policies. And of course, most of them are still too stupid to realize that that's what's happening. And even those who do understand that still haven't been able to admit it, that they made a mistake, and they probably never will, because they have too much of themselves wrapped up in supporting this guy. They've been supporting and defending this guy every day for like a decade. I think something, I've talked about this before, I think something happens, your brain is rewired somehow when you spend all your time defending someone over a long period of time. I don't know, I didn't want to get off on this, but I think it does something psychologically to a person when they invest so much of themselves and their energy and their time defending every single thing that one person says and does. And a lot of these people who have been doing that, I think they are psychologically incapable of ever admitting that they were wrong, because it's their identity. Defending him is who and what they are, and they would be admitting too much about themselves if they admitted that this guy is the fucking disaster that he is. And, you know, not only are they getting screwed as much as the rest of us, in many ways, they are getting screwed more than the rest of us. The truth is that red states, as we've talked about many times, are takers from the federal government. On balance, red states take from the federal government more than they pay in taxes, whereas the blue states give more to the federal government in terms of taxes than they take in the form of benefits from the federal government. So it's these Magas who are more heavily dependent on the government, not just themselves personally through the SNAP program and Medicaid and things like that, but also their states. Because a lot of these states, they need money from the federal government to keep their various programs and things afloat in the states. I mean, they have no money for education. They need money from the federal government for education and things like that. And they vote for this guy, and he goes, you know, he slashes programs providing money to the states. So certainly the education department, he's trying to friggin' close that down completely. You know, these red states are all already at the bottom of the barrel in terms of education spending, education results. I mean, the dumbest people in the country live in the red states. And now we're going to eliminate the Department of Education that provides so much assistance to those red states. These people are going to get even dumber, which of course is the point. I mean, the dumber a person is, the less a person knows about anything, the less a person understands how anything works, the more likely they are to vote Republican. Those are just the statistical facts. So it is beneficial to Trump and the Republican Party to cut education spending as much as possible and keep these people as stupid as they possibly can. Keep them voting Republican. Keep them stupid and scare them constantly. you know, about the woke radical left, about Antifa, about the transgenders are coming for you. They're coming after all your kids. They're going to turn all your kids transgender. All this fucking bullshit. And of course, the brown people, got to keep them afraid of the brown people. Anyway, so these people are getting screwed. And right now in this shutdown, what's going on with this shutdown? Republicans refuse to restore funding for the Affordable Care Act, right? We're talking about subsidies where people purchase health insurance for themselves through the Obamacare exchanges. I mean, it's incredibly expensive. So there's these tax credits to subsidize people purchasing health insurance for themselves and their family through these exchanges. Well, those are going to go away. And Republicans refuse to restore that funding. Well, if you take a look at who in this country is buying their health insurance from those exchanges, it's disproportionately Trump voters. It's people in the red states. Because a lot of these red states, part of Obamacare was Medicaid expansion. You know, Medicaid is a joint federal and state program. And the Obamacare increased money through the Medicaid program that the federal government would provide. But the states had to be willing to expand their Medicaid program. Well, a lot of these red states, because it's Obamacare and they can't be seen as, you know, these politicians in these red states can't be seen as supporting Obamacare, a lot of them refuse to expand Medicaid and accept the increased federal money for the Medicaid program. So these MAGA morons in the red states don't have access, a lot of them, to Medicaid. They don't qualify, or, you know, it provides very little. And so they have to buy their insurance on the open market through the exchanges. Well, they're only being able to purchase health insurance for themselves, many of them, because of these subsidies, which Trump and Republicans now want to cut. So these very same friggin' MAGAs who are rooting for Trump and Republicans to prevail in this government shutdown and to not restore funding, they're the ones who are going to get screwed by it. They're going to lose their health insurance. They're not going to be able to afford it, many of them, without these subsidies. And they're going to lose their health insurance disproportionately more than people in blue states. And they'll be happy because it's all about owning the libs. Of course, these people will never even realize, they're too stupid to figure it out. They won't know that that's why they're losing their health care. They'll somehow blame Biden, I'm sure, you know, most of them. We know for a fact a lot of them have no idea that they get their health insurance through the Obamacare exchanges. I don't know how many interviews I saw with Trump voters during the election. And they said, so what do you think about Obamacare? Well, I want to get rid of Obamacare. What do you think about the Affordable Care Act? Oh, I love the Affordable Care Act. I'm on the Affordable Care Act. That's good. We need to keep that program. We just need to get rid of Obamacare. These morons are too stupid to realize that Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act are the same friggin' thing. It was always called the Affordable Care Act. It's just Republicans started calling it Obamacare to make all their idiot voters hate it, right? And so if you can just call it Obamacare, all these MAGA morons will oppose it and screw themselves, which is exactly what's going on. So these idiots are having, from the guy they voted for, they're having their health benefits cut. A lot of them are going to lose insurance. A lot of them are on food assistance through the SNAP program. They're losing that. They're losing so much, they're getting screwed. Meanwhile, Trump is going to spend their money, well, not really their money because they're net takers by and large, but they're spending taxpayer money. This is America, make America great again. This is putting America first, right? Spending taxpayer money to build an Air Force base for the Qataris in Idaho, Meanwhile, he's cutting health insurance and food assistance programs for his voters. And they're too stupid to realize any of it. If they did, maybe some of them would begin to wake up, but how in the hell would they ever realize what's going on? Trump's never going to tell them what's going on, and they're never going to get the truth out of Fox News or anywhere else, so they will just continue to cheerlead for Trump as he bends them over and screws them on a daily basis. And they'll be thinking they're owning the libs. Meanwhile, they're getting fucked. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.